There is a quote from Abraham Lincoln, which goes like this: "If you give me 6 hours to cut down a tree, I'm gonna spend the first 4 sharpening the axe." And that, of course, seems very logical, and it's a great quote for a reason. That first you should prepare your skills, first you should develop the fundamentals, then you can go on to do the real thing. And that's a quote that I've used many times in my life. For example, if I want to play the guitar and I want to play a really complicated piece, then I don't just jump onto the piece in the beginning. I learn the fundamentals, and I gradually progress to the stage where I can actually play the piece, and then I can play correctly rather than just jumping into it and playing it fast but not correctly, not elegantly. And the same with, for example, if you want to do calisthenics skills, then you should first build that initial strength relative to your own body weight, and then you should start learning the skills. And so this concept is very good, but there is a problem with this, and it's that if you're on self-improvement right now, there's a big chance that you think that I'm gonna be successful with my business, and then I'm gonna start speaking to people. It's like I'm gonna get super jacked and successful, then I'll maybe speak to some girls. I'm gonna achieve all of these things, and then I'm gonna do the people thing. So first achievement, financial achievement, and then I do the people thing, all of that. But it doesn't work like that, because the people thing is paramount to the success. Unless you want to be some chess dork or some little IT technician writing some code and getting really rich from that. If you're a genius like that, then obviously you can do it that way. But if not, then getting a good social circle and being fluent socially, having a vibrant social life, is just as important and as those hard quantifiable skills. So for example, if you were to start an SMMA, if you were to want to become really good at social media marketing, then you can't just jump right into it. You have to first learn the thing, and in order to learn for ads, for example, you can't just, presumably you don't have a lot of money to spend on ads just to get that knowledge. So you would be better off taking a job for maybe just a few months at a social media marketing agency, and then applying that knowledge, creating your own agency. That is how a lot of successful people work. But to get to that point, to get that job, you first have to have a CV. And on that CV, it's extremely useful to have at least one really good referral from one, let's say, semi-successful person at least. Because that will set you apart from the rest. And the way you do that is that you expand your social circle. Then maybe you can get that referral, and then you can get the job. It's not that you become rich first and then you get those referrals, because when you're rich, you won't even have that problem. That wouldn't even be a problem. Also, business is about making other people want to give you their money. And for them to want to give you their money, they have to respect you in the first place. Because if they don't respect you, then they assume that you have no honor, that you're just trying to make money. And then you might as well be a snake in the grass who's just trying to snake them of their money. So, for example, if you got a bunch of people, if you come into a place and you got a bunch of people around you asking you questions, then people will assume that you're giving them value and that you're an honorable person. Or if you got a girl around your arm, or if you got Mark Zuckerberg as your friend when you walk in there, then people automatically will want to give you their money more easily. But what I've seen with a lot of people who are on self-improvement, including myself, is that they don't really associate with a lot of people. And this is something I had to change, because when you're on self-improvement, well, two things happen. So firstly, you have this initial stage where, yeah, maybe you're a bit shy, maybe you don't want to talk to people, maybe you rationalize it that, you know, why do I need to talk to him? And yeah, you just assume that nothing good is gonna come out of it, but nothing bad is gonna come out of speaking to someone. So you might as well do it, even when you're at like your local gym. Go speak to someone. That's a good practice. Or in your school, speak to someone. I think I spoke to maybe 4 new people today in the school cafeteria, and it like the chance of something negative happening out of that is less than 0%. It's really low. So a way you can do that is to just visualize it. So if you're gonna go up and speak to someone, you just close your eyes and then you think, okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go there, and then I'm gonna look at him, and then I'm gonna say that, and then this is gonna happen. And then you visualize it over and over in your head. And when you do it, it's like it's already happened, so you don't get nervous at all. But that's, you know, that's the first stage. And the second reason why you don't socialize if you're in self-improvement is likely to be that you just reject people. Because when you're on self-improvement, you you want to erase everything bad about yourself. You can definitely not play any video games. That's for losers. You can't eat junk food. You can't make stupid jokes and laugh around. And you can't not be productive. You can't, you know, sit in a feminine way with your thighs crossed like that. And while that is good to check yourself in that way, you can't necessarily be checking other people in that way. So what happens is you see someone do one bad thing that doesn't align with your views, then you think, oh, he's just a pussy, he's just a weakling, I won't talk to him. And then, because everybody's got flaws, so you sort of reject people, and then you don't talk to them, and then everybody's a loser, and then you can't socialize at all. So we need to separate the person from the thing you're trying to achieve with the person. When you read Nietzsche, for example, there was many questionable things I've heard. I haven't read Nietzsche, but I've heard that he said very questionable things at times. But you don't just throw away the book. You don't just throw away Nietzsche like that. You say yes to this and no to that. And then you take the good, and then you can use it to something. And that's something that Jordan Peterson points out all the time, that you can't just put yourself above another person because you see one flaw in them. So don't do that with people, and have more of an open mind, and you will start to see more social success. And then with that social success, your financial success will be much easier. And even if you are successful financially without that, even if you win the lottery or catch a crypto pump or something like that, or you get a lot of money, if you do that without the social part of it, that is in most cases necessary to make money, then you're gonna have some huge problems. Because when you get all this money, you're gonna attract all sorts of people, because money attracts, because everybody wants a part of it. But you're so socially inept that you can't pick up the little cues to know which ones are your friends and which ones are your enemies. And then people are gonna come like insects, like snakes, trying to snake you from your money, trying to famoosh you. And you're gonna spend some money there, you're gonna get scammed in this way, you're gonna spend maybe a fortune on this girl who you thought liked you but really just wanted your money, and this guy who you thought was your friend but who ended up snaking you as well. And then you get just disheartened, and you get resentful, and you do some stupid things, and before you know it, all your money is gone, and you don't have any credibility left, you don't have any good reputation to rely on. Because a good man, a successful businessman, he can lose all of his money today and still be, within just a couple of days, back on track again, having um, successful ventures, successful businesses, connecting with new people, because he's got a reputation of a trustworthy man in the eyes of a lot of people, as well as all the knowledge that he's gained. But if you don't have that, if you don't have the the reputation, the credibility, the knowledge, then you're just dependent on your money. And once you lose that, you have nothing left. And you will lose your money. The ability to regain money, to make more money, is more important than actually having the money. And it's very important to be able to recognize who's who in terms of friend and foe. So, for example, Mike Tyson, he was this bullied, abused kid from Brownsville, Brooklyn, a very crime-ridden area in New York. And then he became a sensation, a heavyweight champion, and he got a lot of money, like tens or hundreds of millions of dollars. But then he lost it all because he married this Robin Givens who took a large portion of his money. He got involved with the other snakes like Don King, and I don't gonna go into that, but the fact that he got his money so quickly without learning the necessary lessons made him very susceptible to people trying to sneak him and trying to get his money from him. Most successful people, actually, their best friends are the friends that they had, or some of the friends they had when they were poor or when they weren't as successful. So that just goes on to show that you can't really make new friends after you're rich, because it's very hard to separate the wheat from the chaff. So don't just sharpen the axe, use the axe. Sharpen it a bit and then use it a bit, and then sharpen it and then adjust your sharpening based on how it works. Maybe you're sharpening the axe in the wrong way, and then you gotta adjust that, but the only way to know that is to actually use the axe.